Did everybody see the person that was running over behind the guy? That was his kid. The guy's kid watched him get hit. What's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody's having a better day than this guy had. This happened Saturday, January 11th, 2025, around 11:30 in the morning. And the worst part about all this is it probably could have been avoided if the town of Windham had followed its own policies and procedures for hiring coaches and made him get vetted. Instead of saying, oh, you don't have to, go ahead, coach. And then coming up with dumb excuses that don't really make sense. They're not really excuses. Volunteer CT coach accused of driving into parent slipped through the cracks at hectic time, officials. Windham, the girls basketball coach and felon who police say intentionally drove into an angry parent after a game last week, did not go through the proper process to become eligible for his volunteer job, town officials say. This isn't high school, this isn't adults, this is 3rd and 4th grade kids, just so that's clear. Bryan Baez-Rviera, 29 of Willimantic, slipped through the cracks, interim town manager James Bolano said Thursday night. So it looks like the interim town manager is taken off right where the last town manager left off, and that's just lying, making excuses, not taking accountability. An internal review shows Baez-Rviera apparently was given an application and a request for a background check, but as the hectic cycle for getting ready for the program commencement approached, the process was not completed by recreation staff, and the season went forward with Mr. Baez-Rviera being allowed to coach, Bolano said in a written statement. That's their excuse, which makes 0 sense. The same hectic cycle that happens every year. You know, the more you do things, the easier it's supposed to get. And if they've done it every year up to this year, why couldn't it be done this year? And I would understand if they had nobody else to coach and the background check wasn't done yet. Okay, you can coach for the time being, but this background check needs to be done immediately. And it's not like they were waiting for the background check to come back. It wasn't like it was done. They literally just allowed him to skip it. And not just that, but he's also been arrested twice besides this arrest in between that time since September and now. The town had no idea he punched an Eastern University student, a few months ago. The town knows, and if they don't, that's just a bigger problem. So Bolano is either a liar or they're all just really dumb. Baez-Rviera, who was arrested and dismissed from his coaching job after the incident, has 5 convictions stretching back to 2016, 3 of which are related to a violation of a protective order, a Class D felony. He also has 2 cases pending in the state superior court in Danielson, one from a December 30th breach of peace arrest and another which he was charged with breach of peace and 3rd-degree assault on October 6th, both by Willimantic police. The October arrest stems from an allegation that he punched an Eastern Connecticut State University player during an adult rec game September 22nd, the same month he got the job? No way. Mr. Baez-Rviera's actions do not reflect the fundamental principles and tenets of the town of Windham or any of its departmental programs, Bolano said. It must. You guys gave him the coaching job. And it's not even like a police department needs to check your background or some special agency needs to do it. Anybody from the town, anybody from the rec department, even Mr. Bolano could have went to the state website and typed in his name and looked at his convictions from the past 10 years, looked at his open cases. So they clearly saw something they loved so much that they would put all these 3rd and 4th graders at risk, right? Columbia First Selectman Steve Everett, who rushed to the scene when he heard what had happened, said that the argument may have been sparked by a misunderstanding about an overheard comment when the girls were shaking hands at the end of the game. One said, "Good game," to which a Columbia player responded, "Not really." The Columbia girl was referring to the fact she had been accidentally struck in the neck on the court, Everett said. And I find it weird that a first selectman ran down there, even admitted later he had no idea what happened outside, but then tries to twist it up into this narrative. Like this may have happened. Yeah, and a lot of other things may have happened too, you idiot. And here they are, arrests after the girls' basketball game. Bryan Baez-Rviera and Jason Surprenant, because they did charge the guy that was hit by the vehicle too. And I think this shows what's fundamentally wrong with Connecticut and that Connecticut police do not understand understand what breach of peace is and do not use it properly. That's more like assault with a motor vehicle, a deadly weapon, or just assault. And I wouldn't say that standing in front of a vehicle is breach of peace. If anything, I would say it's an infraction, impeding traffic, obstructing traffic. But there is absolutely nothing on the state website of Jason actually being arrested. So did they just bring him in and steal his $5,000 or whatever he used to bond out? And I find it weird that you can hit somebody with your vehicle and they'll let you out on a $5,000 breach of peace. But don't go say scan your plate to Giller. Don't do that, because they'll give you a $25,000 bond for breach of peace. So I looked him up, and this is his full slate of charges from that day. Assault in the second, endangerment to a minor, second degree, 2 risks of injury to a minor, and a breach of peace. So I don't know why the news just put out that it was a breach of peace. They literally put out the least worst one out of everything. Do you guys think any of the felonies will stick, or do you think it'll just be dropped down to misdemeanors? And that makes it even more pathetic for the bond he was let out on. That was his 3rd breach of peace in less than 4 months. The first one was a $5,000 bond, the second one was a PTA on a $1,500 bond, and the third one was another $5,000 bond with 3 felonies. I got 3 in a little over a year just for talking on a sidewalk, and every time they went up drastically. My last one was $25,000. They did say DCF was notified and the incident is under investigation. I think it's pretty selfish if you're going to go out and do anything with your kids with you, unless it's 100% self-defense. The guy claimed he couldn't stop in time. He didn't have time to stop. Everybody saw it. You clearly had time to stop, and you made no attempt to stop. You actually sped up. And I think it's selfish to put your kids in that situation and have a possibility of having them taken because you and some guy were arguing. And this is what dumbass DeVivo had to say about it. You sports coaches are supposed to set an example, DeVivo said. He obviously isn't a positive role model. That's weird, because you know who else is supposed to be a positive role model for the community? The mayor. And you're just a complete fucking idiot. You don't do your job. You don't even care about the people. So you're not a positive role model either. So it's kind of weird seeing that coming from you. But let me know what everybody thinks about this. I'll add some links to the description so people can read about it for themselves. Let me know if you guys think that the charges were appropriate, if the victim should have been charged. It looks like they just arrested him and stole his money and then dropped the charges because there's literally nothing there. And leave it in the comments and we'll talk about it.